Ta-da.
Yo, welcome back to the break room, ladies and gentlemen. We up in this piece, man. We got the user cast of characters. We got myself. We got Ray in the building. We got Keith in the building down there. Devontae Swain is in the building. We got two guests, man, today, man. We got the homeboy. We got the bro Zeke in the building today. What's going on, dude? And then we got my man
Yeah.
from Get This D up in this building, man. Our brother, what's happening, man?
Yes, sir.
What's good with it,
Yes, sir.
baby?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Glad to
sir.
be here, man. Good to see y'all, man. Happy New Year's to everybody.
Yeah, same to you, brother.
Likewise, bro. Likewise, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, so today, man, we got the guys on here, man. It's all guy talk today, and we gonna want to call this "Who's the Man?" And with that, we're gonna talk about, first of all, what is your definition of a man, and then we're gonna go into man, growing into that manhood, and all the different things and the pressures and the struggles that's on a man. And since I'm a black man, I only speak on black men. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the other races go through, but I'm gonna talk about our struggle and our triumphs and what we do. So first and foremost, with that, man, what's your let's start with Zeke. What's your definition of a man?
I would say my definition of a man is somebody who is a mature male who can do who I guess the general definition is a mature male that can be an asset to society, his family, his community. A man is somebody that can help disciple and mold other boys into men. A man is somebody that can be a blessing and an asset to his community, where he builds it up, makes it better, not tears it down. A man is somebody that can stand in the face of adversity, take accountability, and even take the burn, when saying or doing the right thing during the wrong moments that may cause him to take some hits, but he man enough to take the blow because he know in the long run it was the right thing to do. So, it's a broad definition, but those are just some of the principles of what I think a man is.
I agree with that.
Ray, what you got on that, man? What you think? What's your definition? Your definition of a man to you? Yeah.
Man, just somebody, man, that's the head, like strong man, provider, man, just pretty much what Zeke said, but just throwing in that provider, man, somebody that's strong, that's that's there. You know what I'm saying? That's knows who he is and what he brings to the table. Someone that's not afraid to to step up and be the man. That's kind of like what I think what a man is in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, D, what you say, man?
Well, whenever I think about, what I call a man, I always ask myself certain questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, does a man, for example, do you build or do you destroy? And do you know when to do either of the two? Do you add value wherever you go? Do you uphold justice? Are you righteous? Well, let me take that one out because that's kind of that's self-imposed.
Got you.
How do you deal with adversity? How do you deal with conflict? How do you deal with conflict with your brother? How do you deal with conflict with your neighbor? How do you deal with conflict with your family? You know what I'm saying? Are you a leader? Do you step up when in times of need? How do you handle a crisis? You know what I'm saying? Do you father your children? I try to ask basic questions when it comes to judging manhood because everybody doesn't come through the same pipe. You know what I'm saying? Everybody comes through different pipelines. And so, somebody in the jungle that has to, make a mud hut and go chop wood and hunt animals and skin them and cook them, that's a man. In the city, somebody getting up at 4 a.m, throwing on a vest and some boots and getting in their car to go work a 12-hour shift in the cold, that's a man. You know what I'm saying? There's a homeless veteran on the streets right now, homeless. This dude got a track record in Nam. That's a man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I always ask myself certain questions when people in manhood, you know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of people who throw labels out here. They're alpha male, they're this type of man and this type of man, and it just be talk for the most part. Because it all boils down to actions. What you do in certain times of life. That defines you as a man to me.
All right, Keith, what you got, man?
And I think they pretty much said it all, cover it all. You know what I'm saying? A church they gave on it. Pretty much what D said, man, it's many layers to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there could be a guy out in the jungle somewhere, in the country somewhere, you know what I'm saying, catching animals and skinning it and feeding it to his family, providing for his family, building the huts and tents. You got the guy that's 9 to 5, whether it's corporate America or the blue collar out there doing construction, you know, all that. Being a provider, being a leader, you know, all that stuff. A guy said it earlier, pretty much. It pretty much covers everything, you know, so that's all I got on that, to be honest with you. Because they pretty much said it all.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
I was just gonna add in it, I think like I said, everything that you guys said pretty much summed that up as a man. Like Dennis said, man, it's different things, man, because you know how we, depending on where you came from, you see what a man was. You know what I'm saying? Your idea of a man came from pretty much either who raised you or the male figures you had around you in your life. Or some people got them on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like Cosby Show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or
Bill Cosby.
saw, you know, different things you saw on TV growing up.
Yeah.
But
Hey, I got a question.
what's that?
I got a quick question. Let me pose y'all a quick question. And this is an example of what I'm talking about. Scenario. Man takes care of a child till the kid's 18 years old.
Right.
You know, or no, not even 18. To the kid's 6. Dad decides, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna go take the kid for a DNA test, takes the kid for a DNA test, find out the kid's not his. He decides he's got 2 decisions. Either I stop fathering this child because it's not mine, or because I spent the time as the father, remain the father. Which decision would the man make? Which decision would a real man make in that scenario?
I think for me, I would say it depends. Number one is, could you find out who the real father is? And I would never. I can't. I don't like speaking in hypotheticals, but I think that because you always change your mind once you actually get in that situation, but you can't change.
Yeah.
You can say I do one thing and be like, oh man,
there's a lot of X factors in that too. Because if the mom is on some bullshit,
exactly. So
I was just gonna say that. What about the
Yeah.
mom in the situation? How is she?
Yeah, and that part, that's definitely into it. But then if I say if she has an idea who the other man could be, the father could be, and they get testing, they found out who it is, and if that man wants to step up to the plate and be the father to this child, I can't step in the way of that. Now, would I like cut off all communications? No, maybe I'll be like a godfather, Uncle Jay, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think either one could be wrong, because it depends on how that man felt. Because, like, man, he could have felt slighted, he could have felt betrayed. He wanted to get away from her scandalous way because she thought that she knew. So it depends on how that whole thing came about, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, because if he had that in the back of his mind the whole time, and that means after 6 years, something's still been in your head saying, "Hey, man, something just ain't right." You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
like, you know, let me go get tested, and they're like, okay. And you go that far, I think 9 times 10, you probably leaning towards, hey, man, I'm probably gonna step away from the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, but it depends on, like I said, I would see how that other guy did. He step up to it, boom, because the kid is not at fault, man. It ain't the kid's fault.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
But if they
That's facts. Yeah.
if they do want to be a father and take care of his son and everything else, then hey, man, by all means, that's your responsibility. You had it, and like I said, I'll stick around, not to say stick around with her, but stick around and say, hey, little dude, I'm always there for you. You know what I'm saying? You know, whatever you need, I'll still be there regardless, you know. But because you have invested that time already.
Right. Yeah.
Way. But I don't think there's a wrong answer in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, either one, I don't think will be wrong.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Fellas, anybody else?
I mean, me personally, man, this is me, but I wouldn't step away only because, man, I've invested so much time, you know, time and me and this kid have a relationship now. I feel like I am his father. You know what I'm saying? I am his dad. So me personally, I wouldn't step away. Now I would still encourage him to find out who his biological is. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, I wouldn't step away because, you know, I'm just loving dude, man. I love everybody.
That's what's up. What's up?
Man, that's good stuff.
What I got? What I got on this?
Man, I mean,
And the reason I ask is because we in the vein of manhood and what we constitute as being a man and all this and that, and the things that men go through that a lot of people don't really pay attention to. There's a lot of dudes out here in that situation where it's like, damn, this ain't my kid, but I done spent the time with him and all this other shit. But this bitch done hurt me. She done hurt. This hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm fucking finna do some shit. You know what I'm saying? It might be best for me to just say, you know what? Just go on and just, I gotta run that way. You know what I'm saying? So, like you were saying earlier, Sean, man, like, damn, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? That's a kind of a, you know, a weird situation for a man to be in. But just figured, man, in the vein of our conversation, that'd be something that we can definitely touch in.
like, I'll stick around. Like, do I still got to pay child support?
That's the first question. That'll be the first question.
That's a legit
the first question.
Can my financial contributions be of my own free will?
You know? Real talk. Yeah.
I stick around.
Yeah.
Take child support. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
no, man.
Well, I say
Go ahead.
one knock would be, and the other side of it would be like, okay, well, how would now social media is gonna change. Now, they get into it. Now it's gonna be all the girls gonna be like, once you decide, like you just said, man, I ain't paying no child support, bro. I ain't walk. Oh, see, he ain't no real man.
Right.
He didn't step up to the plate. He didn't step up to the plate. Yeah, he didn't step
Said,
up.
is it can I give of my own free will? You know what I'm saying? Like and instead of contributing something that's state appointed, you know what I'm saying, I can use my own free will and assess the need and give according to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't go bone dry. But the other thing is, it's a blessing for somebody to be just giving somebody else's child something, period. You know, like people take that for granted. You know what I'm saying? Like the heart of a man to still be able to contribute and be there, period, in the event that, man, this seed did not come from my loins. You know what I'm saying? I'm still there for him. You know, you can't take that for granted.
Right.
True.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't my loins.
Got that
This
right.
is my loins.
So
And that's a legit question.
Somebody else loins enjoy. How that look?
Right. So I'm gonna take it back here. So we're gonna go, since we brought up a kid. Let's go back to childhood. Being a man.
Right.
Turn around, like I said, I don't know everybody's situation. You know what I'm saying? My dad wasn't in the household with me. You know what I'm saying? So being in that situation, I put up a meme on social media the other day, and it had a picture of a mother and a little boy on there, and it was two parts to it. The mother and the little boy was on there, and he was crying, and she was like, "Shut up," you know what I'm saying? Men don't cry. Stop being a baby. Men don't cry. You know, and we take all that in, and I know for sure I've heard that a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I know that a lot of men heard that a lot growing up. Like, man, don't be no punk. You ain't a little girl.
Right.
You don't cry. We don't show that. To the point where it comes to the point where you have different emotions when you get into a relationship. Now it's come time when you had a relationship and the girl was saying, "Hey, where's your how come you never show emotion?" You know what I'm saying? So that's a big difference. Like, how do you think that because of hearing that when we're younger affects us as we get older?
That's a damn good question.
Yeah, it is.
I think that really just even going back to that meme, really, man, the root of it is the child having a lack of identity, man. You know what I'm saying? And you get your identity pretty much from your father. Like your mother is the nurturer, and your father is the person in the family that establishes your identity. And so, the reason why a lot of kids get out here and they get a certain age and they really don't know who they are, so they flip flopping and they trying to find out who they are 9 times out of 10 because they've never had a father in their life to help establish who they are, or matter of fact, even affirm and confirm who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got somebody in your life there to help you establish your identity, as a man, you'll know, man, like we not robots, we human. It's all right to cry if you hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's all right to let, it's all right to acknowledge that you're in pain. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times as a man, people look at us like we robots, like me right now.
Oh man.
People think I look like a black Viking. You know what I'm saying? I look like a black Viking, but I got emotions too. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Right.
so that man or that father will help you acknowledge, and teach you how to work through, or even give you the space where you can work through your emotions.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
I know I definitely
I
been
definitely-
treated like I was a robot on many occasions. Still to this day, man, people be like, because I grew up like I was always the cat that never really showed a lot of emotion. Like growing up, it was always I kept a lot of stuff internal, good and bad. You know what I'm saying? I end up paying for it. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm just like I think now that's why I'm so free with my emotions now. Man, I'm like, man, I better let all this stuff out now, man, because if I don't, I'm gonna be worse off. If I sit here and just constantly internalize everything, man. But
Right.
it's definitely, man, in society, man, it seems like we are like, I ain't say we, but well, I could say we've been like taught to like suppress our emotions. Like for me, it's like, hey man, men don't cry. Like that meme said, it sounds like, hey, men don't cry, boys don't cry, whatever. But hey, it's been times when, hey, I done boo-hooed it up, bro. I'll be the first nigga to admit it. Like,
Mhm.
and then like I was ashamed to admit that stuff like in the past, but now it's like, nah, bro. I admit it. I cry in a heartbeat, dude. Like if it's something that hits me like that, I share that. I give you that Denzel glory tip, man, for real.
Hey, real talk, real talk. If you stop and think about it, man, that's that. How many dudes out here are lashing out or behaving in certain ways, whether it's with women or with each other?
Mm-hmm.
What it really boiled down to is niggas need to cry.
They
And I
do.
know
Let it
that
out. Let it
like
out.
man,
Yeah.
that's some bitch shit. No. Think about this.
Yeah.
If you can't express sorrow, if you can't express sadness, if you can't express defeat, if you can't express overwhelm, being overwhelmed, because sometimes that causes you to cry. If you can't express disappointment, you know what I'm saying? If you can't express pain, if you can't express this shit because you're always being told, suck it up, man up,
Man up.
you know what I'm saying? Bury it. And then you
Mhm.
find something else to replace it with. So now you're older and you enraged at every fucking thing because that's the only outlet you've ever had. That's the only outlet you've ever been told to use is, don't cry, don't do what you physically, naturally want to do. Find something to replace it with and do what you think a man would do. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
add in, like Zeke was saying, you got a father and you got a mother. You know what I'm saying? If you have them both together and you grow up in that situation, that's great. But not everybody grows up in a situation like that. So you take one of them out of the situation. Now you're already kind of behind the A ball, especially when it comes to boys and learning how to deal with their emotions. You know what I'm saying? You add in some other stress, parents going through stress, sometimes that shit leaks into the kids.
Mhm.
They out in the world fighting to get it. Kids are act a sport at home. Mama come home, daddy come home, jap out. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Can't do anything with their emotions because they just got unleashed on mom, from mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? Now what do they do with that emotion?
Right.
So it's a whole lot of shit that people are learning. People have to learn to deal with.
Yeah.
You take other people's emotions, you take on your own emotions, and you're told to just suck it up and keep it going. But that ain't fucking healthy. You know what I'm saying? That's not healthy for nobody.
No.
that's why I think a lot of men, when they get older, like especially black men, we learn how to internalize so much stuff. We don't realize by the time we get older, man, we dealing with trauma. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Man,
Facts.
we
Facts.
dealing
That's
with all
true.
this stuff that we thought was normal.
Mhm.
We ain't know that we supposed to feel something if we seen one of our friends get shot,
I
or
was just about to
if we, experience some type of racism, or
say.
man, if we've
Mhm.
been just going through things that you go through as a black man, we think, oh man, put it there, put it in this box and keep moving. At
Right.
some point, and that box get full and it start boiling over, and you realize, like D said, you lashing out and you acting out. That's because we got years and years of pent up trauma that we never learned how to deal with because we thought it was normal.
But we
Yeah.
Man,
grew up in trauma. So if you say
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
say that
I was
with your
literally about to say that shit, G.
with
Literally about to say,
with the way that
man.
our fathers or grandfathers, like I said, my grandfather's the main, male role model I had up until 19. You know what I'm saying? And so to sit and they going through listening to stories of them, what they went through and everything else, and his parents went through, and you couldn't say nothing. It was like, hey, you pack up, you be strong, you keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And you got to do that. A man has to keep this going on. You can't show your weaknesses. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Yeah.
to the point now where the one great thing about evolution and growing and everything else is you kind of realize, and sometimes hopefully it's not too late, but we come to the point where we have to give out. We see that it's not the weakness is holding that in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get
Right.
your strength
Right.
you get your strength from being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? And opening up to let that stuff out, because I mean, you gonna end up hurting somebody or hurting yourself in the long run with everything that we were taught how to be. We, like I said, we figured, oh, a man does this. You learn from your grandparents, learn from your father. You know what I'm saying? This is what a man does. You know what I'm saying? And it's more so off their actions, because they ain't really telling you too much. It's more of their actions. You saw what they did. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, okay, this part I'm learning this. I'm learning that. When you got questions, they'll answer them. But as far as like, hey, sit down 1-on-1, ain't too many of those talks you really have that they starting. It's more so off of what you start doing, and then what you saw what your father, grandparent, whoever raised you do. You know what I'm saying? So you start becoming that person. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even know it. How much you become that. But that trauma that they dealt with, not sharing and not letting emotion out and just dealing with it, it's like, yo, man, it's bad. And that's kind of like, man, that leads to health issues, stress, and you got all our guys are having heart attacks, and they ain't just the food, man. It's this, man, all this stress that they keep holding on.
Yeah, man.
So
That leads to conflict. That leads to a lot of infighting with brothers and shit.
man,
And
That's true. That's true.
dude,
and your woman,
Dude, real talk. Real talk. Not to cut y'all off, man, but like what Deshaun was real, man. I had to, and I ain't really tell a lot of people this, but I had to go to the doctor about a week ago myself because, you know what I'm saying, I felt tightness in my chest, man. Went to last Friday, man. I went to 2 funerals in one day, man. Two funerals one day. And so I got home, man, my chest was like tight. I was like, man, my chest tight. I said, man, and the man, you talk to go and deal with it. But I was like,
Right.
nah, I ain't gonna do that. I told my wife, I was like, man, I need to go to the doctor because this don't feel right. Get to the doctor, man. They hooked me up with all these tests and did all these EKGs. They was like, man, your heart is fine. Like, your vitals are fine. What you dealing with is stress. I had to take they gave me a Valium shot, and that, like, I was able to really breathe. I was like, but I don't feel stress. I don't feel anxiety. But that's because, man, you learn how to internalize it, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I felt fine, but obviously my body was like, no. So yeah, man, we be internalizing a lot of stuff, and that's why people be having heart attacks and strokes and all that. It will eat at your physical, man.
Yeah.
Weird.
Facts, man. That's
I had
right.
another meme that had something about with the same thing on the parenting, and it had a father and a son. It had the son, hugging his dad, and he's saying, "I love you, son," and the boy is saying, "I love you more, dad." Then you got 2 guys standing to the side of him. One of them said, See, that's why these boys grew up soft. And you got another guy that said, man, at that age, I know I'd knock my boy out if he tried to hug me like that. And that's, I mean, it's real because it's like you've seen people, they're like, man, why this dude still hugging that little man? That boy's damn near grown. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know, but like I said, I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have that, you know, my father right there with me, you know what I'm saying, growing through, you know, from baby to the grown, you know what I'm saying, teenage, whatever the case may be. So I can't even say like, yo, I was still hugging my father. I was like, he wasn't there like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I couldn't say nothing like that. But I've definitely seen that, you know, seeing some older guys say, man, stop, well, get off that man like that, man. You a boy, you a big, you a young man. You don't be doing all that. You know, it's like, how much, like I said, I can't, like I said, we all came from different backgrounds, you know, a couple of ours are the same, but, you know, coming from different backgrounds as far as that part, it's like, you know, Zeke, if you don't want to say nothing, that's cool, you know what I'm saying, I understand situations or whatever, but it's like, you know, how does that affect, you know, did that love from from your father, would you wish it have been more? Would you wish it have been, you know, you would have been more receptive to that, you know, hey man, is love like this, or is it more like, you know, hey man, it was that what the guys was talking about, like, yo, make you stronger, man, get up off of them, it's too much at a young age. I know, Dennis, you got some boys, man, you know what I'm saying, you still, you know, you got some big boys, man, you know what I'm saying, so you still, you know, hugging on them, I love you, son, blah, that type of stuff. Is that stuff that you seen your dad do, or now, you know, whoever, you know, that male role model, whatever the case may be, is that something that you took in and it helped you let out more, show more love, or is it something that, you know, like these guys saying, like, man, you know what, man, let that go, don't do that, you soft, you know what I'm saying, for being that way.
For me, it was a little different. It was a little different because my dad instilled a hellified work ethic in us.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, my dad was one of them blue collar dudes. You know, I have vivid memories of getting up at ass crack of dawn. It's still dark outside. I hear this nigga moving around all through the house and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I hear his footsteps going down the stairs. I hear that front door open and close. And walking down that sidewalk, hear that gate open and close. Hear his car start up and hear him drive off.
Mhm.
That's a replaying memory in my head. You know what I'm saying? So when he come home on the weekends, yeah, we was doing chores and shit, yard work every fucking Saturday morning. You know what I'm saying? We had to get up and do it. My dad also taught us how to love. You know what I'm saying? From a man's perspective, he always hugged us. He always kissed us. He always told us he loved us. You know what I'm saying? Even though, and then my dad didn't sugarcoat shit. Like my dad was talking to us the same way we talking. He was talking to us at 5 years old like this. And it wasn't just us. Like if my niggas was around, they got it too. If cousins was around, they got it too. You know what I'm saying? So he was just spending like my your ass had chores too.
Yeah.
Whatever conversation I got with my daddy, you got with my daddy too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, my dad kind of gave us a mixture of both. You know what I'm saying? So I think it did help me learn to love my kids, and it have helped me to empathize too. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, they be going through shit during their school day too. Just like I go through shit at work. You know what I'm saying? I can't just come home and say, hey, I work all damn day. My problems are bigger than yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I got to empathize with them too. They going through their little man journey in school. You know, they going through their man journey in high school while I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? So I have to empathize with them too. So yeah, it does help.
Keith, what you got on that, man? You know, you on both ends of the spectrum, son and you know what I'm saying, being a son, you know what I'm saying?
For me, I wish my father was that more, you know what I'm saying? But like we just said earlier, it wasn't like that. It wasn't a scenario. But for me, I made sure that when I had my son, it was passed on, you know what I'm saying? That whatever he needed, I was there, you know, whether it was let him know that I loved him, giving him hugs. When he was younger, I always kissing him and everything. I still hug on him, you know what I'm saying? Let him know it's okay to know to let it out. Like you was touching on earlier, D, about letting that emotion out. You know what I'm saying? Like just I'll say let out a month and a half ago or so. He had a situation with some girl he was dating, and she pretty much broke his heart. You know what I'm saying? So he was upset. I said, man, let it out. Let it out. It's okay to let it out. It's okay. She hurt you. It's okay. You got a broken heart. Let it out. Cry. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not soft because you got a broken heart. It'll make you less of a man or a punk or whatever you want to call it for not, you know, for crying. Let it out. So eventually he started letting it out. He broke down. feel better, don't you? He's
Mhm.
like, yeah, it's okay. That's what it's all about. You
Yeah.
don't mean you soft because you know carry my emotions and all that, can't express yourself. Let it out. We men. It's okay.
That's right there, though. I gotta salute you for that one, bro. Because what you did was you gave him the permission to fucking be human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gave him the permission to just be a regular fucking human being. Like, dude, you got your
Yeah.
heart broke. It happens. It's probably gonna happen
Exactly.
again.
Those are my exact
You know what I'm
words to
saying?
him. Yep.
Okay. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And that coming from his father, you just taught him how to deal with that.
Yep.
I was talking about,
You know,
like,
that goes
man,
to what I
you
said
have
before.
established identity. Like that's
Mhm.
important. Like you
Yep.
giving him the space to help him establish who he is, and as a matter of fact, to affirm. Like you helped affirm who he is. Like, dude, it's all right, man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's all right, man. But
Mhm.
I would say to that, just to add, man, like, man, dude, I think especially being a father, man, these days, man, you have to show your kids unconditional love, man, because they already dealing with a lot, man. You
Exactly.
know, and like, so when they come to you, it shouldn't even be a question that, man, my pops love me. If the world don't, if nobody else love me, I know my pops love me. Man, if you gotta hug them, if you gotta kiss them, because everybody show love different ways. Some
Right.
people put their kids in the
Facts.
chest.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, look, you know,
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, man, love them unconditionally, man. You know what I'm saying? Because all it take is them knowing that they got at least one person in their corner, man, that believe in them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's
And that's gonna
always,
keep you real with him
about,
and be honest with him.
it's always a thing with, you know, the mama's boys, daddy's girls. You know what I'm saying? And daddy's got to be there to show their girls love because you know what they'll turn into. But I think
Right.
it gets is missed that yo, as a son, you need daddy's love too. You know what I'm saying? You need to learn how
Mhm.
because I need to know how I need to see how you love mommy. I need to see how you
Right.
love whatever woman you're with.
Exactly.
I need to see how you love your kids, even your son. You know what I'm saying? So what's been different, I know with me, I have two girls and I got a younger son now. You know what I'm saying? Two. That was my first one, but I had two older girls. And learning how to love my girls is easy because I had two sisters that I pretty much raised. You know what I'm saying? So help raise. So it's like, that was easy. You know what I'm saying? Having my girls, those, they daddy's girls. They're gonna always cling to you. That's that. Having my son, it's been like, okay, now it's like, okay, now you start thinking, all right, which what do you show? You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
it's been easy, like, okay, I gotta show you everything, man. I gotta show you, like, hey man, I can't get, it's hard because you don't want because we've grown up as like, yo, to show that you overwhelmed, to show that everything else, like, man, you weak. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so you still kind of battle that in our minds now. I know guys our age and everything else like that. Now, younger generation, they've probably been opened up to a lot more. But as far as I know, guys our age and a little bit older than us, that's a constant battle you talking about in your mind as a husband, as a, what I'm saying, a boyfriend, as a father and everything. That it's hard to battle that, to say like, yo, man, that's to show this is weakness. Like, I can't show them I'm overwhelmed. I can't show them that daddy don't got it right now. I can't show them that your husband ain't got it right now, bro. Like, I ain't got my shit together right now. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, being, like I said earlier, being vulnerable is the true strength of it. Like, yo, it's okay. And like Keith said earlier, man, tell your son, hey man, it's okay. Like, you got your heart broken. You're gonna feel
Yeah.
it. That's
Mhm.
emotional, B. That's what you gotta let that out. And it's good. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna be better for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's the
Mhm.
damn
definitely.
point you just made, dog, when you said um about how on one end, you got to show them strength and show them that, hey, even though shit is overwhelming you got to keep positive, keep your face, you know what I'm saying, keep your game face on, you know what I'm saying, take it and keep it moving. But on the other end, it's like, shit, when you going through it, that's real. You know what I'm saying? So it's a balancing act that
Yeah.
us as men have to teach and show and learn at the same time. It's like all through life, you know what I'm saying? Because we teach each other, you know what I'm saying? Through examples and even direct attention. But then we go through stuff alone and we feel like we're the only ones going through it by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like no other man is thinking how we thinking and we don't talk. We don't say nothing to nobody else. You know what I'm saying? So as a father, you have to teach your sons, like, man, it's gonna be times when you up, it's gonna be times when you down, but you still gonna have to live. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be times when shit is going good, times when shit is going bad, but you still gonna have to find a way to live and treat people right. You know what I'm saying? Touching on what you said earlier about how do you love mama? How many dudes actually know how to love women?
There you go.
Dudes
There you
actually
go.
get taught
There you
how to
go.
love women. You know,
Yeah.
how many men actually can say, yeah, my mom and daddy ain't together, but I know he loves her
Right.
because I can see that they ain't together, whatever happened, but my daddy loved my mama. They care about each other. You know what I'm saying? How many guys have that example? You know what I'm saying? Most of the time it's like they in conflict, they just need to stay away from each other. And that, you know, that doesn't bode well for future aspects of love for a young man. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these things we have to learn and teach each other that it's okay to love. You know what I'm saying? Then we got to correct each other when we see each other going astray.
Sure. I had one meme. Hey Ray, I'm gonna get you to comment on this one. I had the other meme that came up. It was said, at one of the things said, one side of it said, be a man. The other side of it saying, yeah, somebody saying, why are you so sensitive? Somebody else saying, just pray about it. Somebody else saying, a real man wouldn't like that, wouldn't think like that. Then somebody else, are you seriously crying? And the other side saying, you'll be okay. This is all in the mind of a man. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the mind. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. How do you like we like said we want to get away from compartmentalizing everything, but at the same time, how do you find that balancing act to say like, yo, I gotta be okay. I'm gonna pray about it. Yeah, somebody else saying, hey man, you crying about it? Hey man, you shouldn't be thinking like that, man. You're a man. Come on, bro. You both, come on, man. It's weak. You're weak. You know what I'm saying? So how do you like being that man that juggle? Like how do you deal with that?
Okay. Well, how I have pretty much handle it, man, is like this. I kind of take what like the next person's opinion, just take it away, because their opinion of who I am doesn't matter to me. Because I'm going, my feelings is my feelings. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna deal with things the way I deal with things. You know, so it's like how the next man feels about me is irrelevant to me, dude. So I do pray about things. That's first and foremost for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I pray about everything. Because I felt like in the past I didn't, and I was just doing things on my own without being led. You know what I'm saying? So me now, I pray about things. You know what I'm saying? I'm very spiritual with that. I pray about stuff. I constantly try to communicate with God and try to say, hey man, look, I'm honest with him. Like, hey, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this situation. You know, so I pray on it and I seek an answer for it. And then, and like as far as like in the natural sense, hey man, I just try to, me personally, I just try not to, because I'm so conditioned to not show emotion. So I try not to like overly show emotion, but I try to like just keep most of my things inside until I get that answer that I'm looking for, you know what I'm saying, from God or whatever. And then after, so I get my answer, what I think is the answer. Then I will go ahead and act upon that situation or whatever. But for me, man, everything for me starts with like prayer. Everything. Yeah. Like that's the ground floor for me. That's the basis. And like, man, but like that whole thing about be a man and like all that stuff, man, it's like, come on, fam. Like that's some of y'all out here really messed up because of that logic. Like be a man, suck it up, man up, all that stuff. That stuff is like, dude, come on, man. You scarring the next generation of men out here with that logic, man. Like Keith said earlier when he told his son, man, hey, it's okay. That's like the realest thing you could tell somebody, man. Like, hey, man, it's okay for you to be upset. It's okay for you to cry. If you want to cry, man, go ahead.
Right.
That's some of the realest thing that somebody could tell somebody, man. Like real talk, man. I wish somebody would have told me that when I was growing up.
I gotta go.
Right.
Like, hey, man.
You know what though? Real talk. Just to real quick to add a little bit to that. As just as important as it is to letting your son or daughter know it's okay to cry and deal, we also have to install a coping mechanism so that they know, dude, you can't stay there. You can't you can't be stagnant. Like at some point you have to move forward. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you got to progress, because now what that is, it's a crutch. You disable them. Like, oh, I'm just standing here and I'm soaking and I'm moping and I ain't dealing with it. It's like, all right, get it out, cry. You know what I'm saying? But now you have to be able to have mechanisms to cope with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think a lot of people suffer from not knowing how to deal with adversity, because they let adversity destroy them. Like, man, take it, feel it, let it go through you. But you move forward though. You don't remain where you at. The only way you can progress is if you move forward.
I gotta piggyback off that. I got a confession. My 5-year-old was tripping the other day, and he rough and tumble, you know what I'm saying? And we was wrestling, and he wouldn't stop playing. So I told him, "Hey, chill out. Okay, we're gonna stop playing. Just chill out." So he decided he was gonna try to snuff me, right? Right. So I'm watching it build up, right? So as he decides he's gonna try to snuff me, as soon as he lifted his hand, I popped him in his chest, right? And he hit the ground, right? He was crying. So I'm like, "What you crying about? What you crying for?"
Right.
I said, "Stop playing," right? Yeah, okay. And what was you was about to hit me though, right? He said, "Yeah, that's why you're on the floor crying now." So get up and let's move on. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a real good example though.
To balance what Toy was saying, it's such a fucking balance, because you have to be human. You know what I'm saying? You can't deny your humanity. If you gotta cry, cry. If it's sad, sad, whatever. And on the other end, like Zeke was saying, you can't stay there. You're gonna have to fucking move. You know what I'm saying? But also, you're gonna have to learn to just shut the fuck up and deal with it. You know what I'm saying? If you have to, if it's not worth crying about, get over it. You know what I'm saying? Some shit just ain't worth crying about. You know, so you do need a brother or somebody to tell you, "Hey, get up, dude. Bro, man up." Some shit you do just have to suck up and man the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? If you have to get something done, that right now ain't the time to be worried about how you feel about it. Shit needs to be done. So you're gonna have to have a mechanism in you to not only deal with your emotions and how you need to feel, how you need to vent, you need to cry. You're also going to need a mechanism to tell you when to move on. You know what I'm saying? And you're also going to need a mechanism to tell you when to just suck it up. You know what I'm saying? And deal with it. You know, because everybody that tells you
situations require that, man.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
They require you to say, hey, little nigga, man up. You know what I'm saying? It's like some situations require you to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I agree with you totally, man.
Yeah, that's the way the world is, man. The world, sometimes it just throw you shit, and you just gotta. It's unfair. It's untimely. You got other stuff planned. It's knocking everything out of whack. Your emotions are getting attacked. Your mental is getting attacked. Your spirit is getting attacked, dude. Man, it can get ugly out here for dudes. For real.
It is.
It get ugly. No, for sure. How about, so I want to go back to, like, so as growing up, you were talking about man, as we become teens and we head into high school, you know what I'm saying? We starting to feel ourselves as young men. This is what we do.
I was hot.
We start feeling like once we get in high school, you know what I'm saying? Especially you go to a bigger school, you got, in small schools still don't even matter, because you got people feeling you now, you got the ladies on you, you know what I'm saying? So it's, you got sports, you got everything. So it's like, yo, you feeling yourself.
Mind.
So
freshman orientation, I lost my fucking mind.
I never been like that. I was like, but how much did that like start shaping like the when we get 19 years? You're talking about the peer pressure. All us from the South Side of Chicago. You got your gangs. We got, you know what I'm saying, all that's going around you in society, like, you know what I'm saying. Plus now you got, I know we had the discussion on on your podcast, the music, you know what I'm saying, all this stuff that's going on with the culture that starts to mold you more, so you start paying attention to it more so than almost in some of those lessons that your dad taught you, your grandfather taught you, whatever. Because you start, feeling yourself, you start getting around to your peers. So how much did that start how does that start how does that start molding us for later on in life too, as we start becoming that journey from a young man to a young adult around here? Like, how does that start affecting our journey? You know what I'm saying?
That's the testing ground, man.
High
That's the
school.
testing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you start to put your what you know, what you think you know, what you're about to learn to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's where a lot of men, honestly, start to come into their own a little bit, I guess.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you start to interact with other people. Jay Sean mentioned sports that puts you on teams. Some niggas get into the streets, you know what I'm saying? Even though the streets are the streets is an organization, the streets is a family, the streets is a structure. You know what I'm saying? You are interacting with men under some real conditions. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of dudes learn a lot of manhood from the streets. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys learn manhood from being on sports. A lot of guys learn manhood lessons from interacting with other men in high school. You learn what not to do, what to do, how to interact with certain people. You know what I'm saying? How to contain yourself, how to control yourself, how to control yourself with the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Little shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's very vital.
I think I think in the lowest common denominator, your skills and your ability as a parent are tested. Like your level, your measure as a parent is tested when your child is not in your presence. You know what I'm saying? So you want to know how good you are as a parent, how good you are as a father. Let your kid go from beyond your presence and interact with the world. And that'll let you know how good you are. Because a true measure of a parent is not what your child does in front of you, but what they do when they're not in your presence.
Mm.
You want to
Preach,
hope,
boy.
man, that I put enough in them, man, where they get out here, they can hold their own. Now they ain't saying that they not gonna act the anus. They might get out there and act
You gotta
the
wild out
anus.
one time. You know what I'm saying? Just so they
But
can
yeah,
come up under you.
yeah, but what you put in them could be that mechanism to help them self-correct. Like, all right, man, my mom and daddy taught me better. I know I shouldn't be doing this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So that's why it's important. Like, and it's just another nugget. Like, you can't wait till your child get almost grown to really start parenting them.
Ooh.
Like, you gotta, as soon as they come out the womb and they're able to determine right from wrong, whether that's 6 months, 8 months, or whatever, because you got to get them, especially boys. Boys, man, we are young lions. We are lions. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? So if we not, I don't want to say tame, but at least let us know what our boundaries are.
Right.
Then, man, we're gonna be tearing everything up as soon as we come of age, man.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
Yeah.
Definitely true.
Real talk.
What you think,
Real talk.
Ray?
Say what?
What you think about that, man? The high school years, man. Those formative years. You know what I'm saying?
Man, dude, don't even talk to me about it. I went to the worst high school. I wouldn't even call it a high school. That was like daycare for teenagers. Man, dude, that school was. I'm gonna put them on blast. Tabernacle Christian Academy.
Tabernacle.
Dude, dog.
Called it daycare for teenagers.
Yeah, that's really what it was,
That's
man.
what it was. Yeah.
Only thing I learned in that different every year was math. Everything else, I tell everybody, man, I got I got an 8th grade education, man. Like, for real. Like, like, no, but seriously, dude, that like high school, man, it was small, man. Like, it was small, dude. Like, my elementary school was bigger than my high school, man. Like, real talk. It was just like,
Oh damn.
yeah, it was.
It was.
But just to get back onto the topic what we're talking about, because I'm about to go in on them niggas. But
Yeah, you
took all my mama tuition money.
emotional about it.
Yeah, I mean, I over here, eyes starting to water up. Like, man, nigga, I ain't even get a real high school experience.
Hey, he got some trauma he's still dealing with, man. Grown
Right.
man.
I need to spend some time on the couch. Man, but like high school, man, like part I can actually look back on fondly, man, was it was actually, man, really not even high school. It was like just those years,
Yeah.
like outside of that building.
Right.
Like I got a chance to like and I feel like that's when I really started coming to like I started getting understanding of who I was. Like I was starting to learn more about myself at that time. You know what I'm saying? The things about that I really liked, you know what I'm saying? And things that I didn't like, man, the things I would take and what I wouldn't take. And it was just like, man, like you said, man, earlier, D, man, that was like the proving ground. You know what I'm saying? Like I tested out some theories. Some of them ended. Hey, I benefited from some of that stuff, but some of that stuff, you know, I fell on my face, man. I ain't even gonna lie, man.
Yeah.
And the good thing about it, man, like we've had a bigger brother that was like that was
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you know, hey,
Yeah.
so and that was gonna tell you what's up, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, hey, B, like, oh, nah, let's go do this, we're gonna do that. Nah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Leave that. So that's the cool part about that part, you know, not going through it by yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
Mhm.
Now college is where I lost my mind at though. College is where I lost my mind, man. That's really where I lost my mind at, man. I got up in that school. I saw all them women, boy. I was like, oh my God. I had a girlfriend, she went there, but I was like,
Nope.
like, who are you?
Hey, Morgan Park was almost like a high. Morgan Park was almost like a doggone college, man. For first part, you like, man, you walk like D said, man, freshman Chase, he's walking, you like, God, I think I was in shock, like my whole
I lost my,
coming
I lost
from
my mind.
bro, coming from like I said, I'm in a small private school, Joe. I think my 8th grade class was about 14 people. Bro,
Oh Lord.
To walk.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I went to some public schools before then, but I know 8th grade year, bro, I had like 14 people in my class, bro. Like, and then to walk into Morgan Park, Joe, and our freshman class is sitting there like 877 people. I'm like, nigga, what is school, bro? It's like, bro, this school is huge, man. It's like, like, bro, like you.
Well, you know what?
You know what? You know what made it even crazier? You know what made Morgan Park even crazier?
Mhm.
All of us was athletes, man. That was a whole nother level to the pandemonium. We played football. Me and Sean played basketball. So that was like a whole other level to the pandemonium. Like we used in 8th grade, we used to chasing, you know, these young ladies around trying to get a chance with them. High school, man, they chasing us.
Ground, man.
Keith, how was your formative?
That training ground, dude.
How was your formative years, Keith?
Yes, sir.
For me, man, similar to what everybody went through. Me and Ray went to the same high school. Moms, they want us to go to the public school because I think for me at that age, I was pretty much coming into my own. I was pretty much wilding out at one point. The Chronic had just came out, and I had Doughboy ambitions, you know. So to keep me from getting in trouble, the local guys in the neighborhood said, "No, I'm gonna see you to this other school. Because if I don't, you're gonna end up being dead or locked up. So let me send you over here." I had a chance to play football, man. You know, I had offers from Brother Rice, Leo, to go play football and everything. And she was like, "Nah, can't do it. You ain't gonna act right." So nah, let me go send you over here. And then being there, I met some guys in there who pretty much had similar backgrounds. Shout out to the homies Jay, KG, Graylin, and all of them, man. You know, we bonded because we had a similar background. And man, it made me too much who I am now. It gave me a lot more street salve. Gave me the swag I guess I have now, I guess to the extent if you want to call it that. But I would frequent to y'all school a lot though.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? And get a lot of y'all chicks.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the Crucial Clique. They know they know what's up. You know? They know what's up.
Them niggas that Morgan Park more than we just.
Oh yeah. Man. Everybody swing through Morgan Park, man.
No, they drive.
Everybody was fishing up.
Yeah.
Everybody come up top to fish.
Right.
Yeah,
Indeed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all have some
That's
nice
what it
ladies, bro.
was.
Dude,
Y'all
all the
had some
ballers
nice-
y'all growing up.
Man,
You know what I'm saying? Everybody,
they was
they
definitely
around.
putting
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Every lunch period.
yeah.
Drive through there, especially they was right there on 111th anyway, Joe. They'll be up there. I'll be like,
Right.
man,
And we just pull up. Yeah,
I
we
just
just pull
they
up.
pulling up like, bro, like really, dude, like this is
We pull up, put them in the car, and keep on going. You know, so put them in the Jeep and keep on going.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the folks used to have a club. They used to have a club right there too, right there on what was it, right there on Vincennes. The folks used to have a club right there, right
Yeah.
next to I want to say it's right right next to fucking the gas station.
I got the name of it, but yeah, you're exactly right. You're
Yeah,
exactly right on that. Yeah.
Spot right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the folks had a little spot right there,
Yep.
all out in the open.
Mhm.
Look at Zeke like,
Yeah.
he was over there with him.
I was up top, man, just trying to get some, fry some Harold's, man.
That's all
Couldn't
you
afford the whole chicken thing, so I was like, at least let me get the fries.
Bro, they was pumping fried $2.50.
Right,
For real, boy, that $1.50, boy, take you a long way.
Nice bag of fries. Nice
Right.
bag of fries.
Yeah,
We
man.
was one of the one schools that had off-campus lunch. So we was at home with the Hoagie. We was at Gramps. We was
Oh, yeah.
every
Yeah.
Hoagie.
every
Man,
the spot down
the Colas. We was at the Colas. If you had a car, you go to the Colas, Gramps, home of the whole Harold's.
It's everywhere.
This is why I'm jealous of y'all real high school experience. We had to sneak out to go get other food, man. We had to sneak out the bathroom window and go jump in the car, man, go get something to eat, man.
Bro, William Parker was crazy. Like I said, you had
Y'all had one of my favorite hoopers at y'all school though, man.
Who that?
Ephraim.
Oh,
Ephraim.
Edie. Yeah, man.
He's a beast. He
Boy had
stayed
game,
corner from us, man.
Yeah,
He was a beast.
yeah, he was.
but yeah, man.
Most definitely. Ephraim definitely had game, man.
Yeah, him and Will, man.
Him and Will. Yeah, him and
Yeah.
his brother Will.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So all us going up, so going back to it, man. All us was growing up, man. Like I said, we on the south side of Chicago, man. You know, we got to deal with the gangs. You know what I'm saying? That's just one thing that we got to deal with, Joe. And the street life that started at that time started becoming popular because of rap. You know what I'm saying? It became very popular. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's it's mainstream us. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about on D's podcast about Pac. You know what I'm saying? How that started molding, the music started molding what we was doing, because like they started putting a light on the hustle, the grind, the street shit. You know what I'm saying? They started putting the hustle on. How did you guys navigate through that, or how did it start making, as we dibble and dabble in the streets a little bit? Because like I said, we all in Chicago, we all got that hustler's mindset, so this is what we do. So how did that start? How did that start molding the man that's here sitting here with us right now?
Oof.
Who want to go first? Which one do you one of you seasoned OGs want to go first?
We're gonna go from the most gray hair to the least gray hair.
I will tell one story.
Don't tell everything. Don't tell everything.
Us.
Right.
We're not doing that.
I ain't gonna tell the whole story.
You know they criminate.
But I do know. I'm gonna get somebody in trouble. They might be watching. But
Right.
I do remember in high school, man. I think it was like freshman going to sophomore year. Like I said, man, Doy Boy Chronicles. You know what I'm saying? So the Chronic came. I was like, man, you know what? I want to do this. So me and my other homeboy talked about it. He's like, man, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's go and set up shop. So we had this other guy came in. I'm down. Put me in. All right, cool. So literally, we set up shop, man, inside the school.
And this is before I got there. I know nothing of these activities.
We set up shop.
Yeah, I want to do this.
Right.
He been a career decision.
Right.
He thought about it. He did his research. He
Right.
listened to a
He was
little
like,
bit of
yeah.
music. He was in the hood. He said, you know what?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Let's
do
do
this.
this. Let me do
that's the
this.
move right there.
Yeah. Let me make this easy money real quick. Let me
Right.
do this
You're
real
my
quick. I can
team.
do this.
Right.
Come up with a nice fancy name. We're gonna find a location.
Right.
Yeah, we gonna
Right. Yep. And we did that. And we came up with a name for our crew and everything, man.
Yeah.
The name of our crew is called IPP.
What does that for?
Insane Pimp Player. That's what it was.
Hey, everybody was a part of some player clique.
Yeah.
Back in everybody was a part of
Yeah.
some player clique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some player or some
IPPs, man.
clique.
That
Oh
sound,
man.
dude, that sound like a gang on 63rd and Avenue.
Don't it?
Insane.
Was, you know what I'm saying? We moving.
Right.
Hey.
Man, where you said that? 63rd Avenue.
IPP.
Oh man.
IPP.
IPPs, man.
Y'all
Yeah.
stupid, man.
Hey, I hate to cut my time short, man, but speaking of fatherhood, I actually got to get out of here. I got to go pick my daughter up, man. But man, I had a great time chopping. I'm sure y'all keep the conversation going, man. I had a good time chopping it up with y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
real good men, man. Appreciate y'all.
No
Yes,
problem.
All right,
sir,
brother.
bro.
All right, man.
Love,
Y'all.
love.
All right, bro.
All right.
Yeah, to answer the question, shit, I think the streets kind of sped our growth up.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you wasn't in the streets, you had family in the streets.
Oh,
And
definitely.
Family in the streets, you had friends in the streets.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have
definitely.
friends or family in the streets, you was still living in the hood. So it wasn't like
Mhm.
get away from it. So if you was one of those, one of the, kind of isolated types, you know what I'm saying, where your mom told you don't go on the block, you don't hang out with nobody, never came outside, that kind of type. Or whether you was an outgoing, outdoors, everywhere type, you in the hood, you know what I'm saying? The shit in the conditions in the hood, you have to adjust to. You gotta adjust to the rowdy niggas. You gotta adjust to, conflict. You gotta adjust to, gunshots and violence. You gotta adjust to retaliations and beefs and, you know what I'm saying, alcoholics and all kinds of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
on one end, you see a bad side of life. But what's kind of weird about the hood is it's a whole lot of love in the hood. It's
Oh,
a
it is.
love in the hood. For as terrible
is.
as it is, dude, and
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of love.
happens, it's a lot of love and respect in the hood. And one of the things that I've learned is I've learned the value of love and respect through, just living in the hood, through having family in the hood, through even my little, and I call it my little time, you know what I'm saying, trying to get off to that shit. Man, there's a lot of respect that happens and a lot of love that happens in the hood, you know what I'm saying? So that's a good place where I learned a lot of respect and love, you know what I'm saying? So outside of all the negative shit that you see on TV, I learned a lot of valuable lessons from dealing with people and just being in that environment, man.
It's different.
Yeah, everything about the hood ain't bad. That's just the narrative that they spin.
That's
What I'm saying,
painted.
out there on
Yeah.
TV and movies. But everything about the hood ain't bad, man.
It's
Just like you just said, man, it's a lot of love and respect in the hood, man. Real talk, man.
I think
So people in America, don't let Hollywood tell you that everything about the hood is bad. Everything about the hood ain't bad.
It ain't. You learn so much shit, dude. You
Yeah.
learn like you talk a lot of
That's true,
shit, like
man.
Yeah,
That's
your
true.
ingenuity, your creativity. Motherfuckers make a way out of no way. Motherfuckers will ghetto rig some shit and get it
Yeah.
going.
How to
You know what I'm saying?
hustle. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Hustle.
It ain't all illegal.
Nigga,
either,
who
you
wasn't
know what I'm saying? So
What alley did y'all remember as a kid where it wasn't no hardworking nigga in the alley fixing on at least 2 or 3 cars?
man, that's facts.
exactly.
Facts.
Exactly.
What old man do y'all know? I'm sure everybody knew some old dude in the neighborhood who was always cutting his grass, always taking care of his shit,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
always taking.
Always.
No matter what, Mr. So-and-so always kept his shit straight.
Oh,
And
yeah.
everybody in the hood recognized and respected his shit. Don't be standing on his grass. Don't be throwing no garbage in front of his shit. Don't be standing in front of his shit. You don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you learn to respect other people.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You learn the value of $1. You learn math skills. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
real.
You know, so it's a lot you learn in the hood. A lot of manhood principles that you really do apply in manhood.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's facts.
I'm about to say we learned a lot from being in the hood, man, and being around the hood. Like I said, it's just different now. I hate that because most of the OGs and everything else, they either dead or they moved out to the suburbs and everything else like that. So the hoods is different.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Now what the media shows now, it ain't the same hood we grew up in. It ain't the same. It's the same hood, but it's not the same hood. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The people have
culture-
changed.
The culture of it changed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not even people, because people gonna go and come. The culture is gone because they left and they said, okay, we got to get out here. We got to get out to these suburbs. We got to get away from the city because these young boys are acting rowdy. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's so that part has definitely changed. Once they start putting the focus on Chicago police, put that focus on putting the gang leaders in jail, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? It became a downfall for everything. It wasn't no more leadership, so everybody had to, fend for themselves, and that's when everything started getting super wild. And like right now, Chicago is a living testimony to that right now. You know what I'm saying? I trip on
Facts.
everybody out here. I should be like, hey, when I was younger in Chicago, nigga, all I heard about was LA. And I'm out here now, they be like, bro, you made it out of Chicago? Like, wait a minute, nigga. When I was growing up, nigga, y'all was the problem. You know,
Right.
nigga,
Right.
y'all were what
LA was like, fuck.
exactly. So
Yeah.
y'all are what
LA
y'all
was
were what Chicago
scariest place in the world.
now, man. So, that was a problem. So it helped that part, that hustle, that grind. I know a lot of us, man, we gonna always, try to grind and hustle and do whatever we got to do, but we learned it. That's a value that we've learned, you know what I'm saying, from the hood and being around, like you said, this man, you hear, man, you don't know nothing else but to get up and go to work, because you heard your daddy get up and go to work every single morning, bro. It's like, yo, I hear this, like you said, man, it's butt crack. It's still dark outside. You know what I'm saying? You hear him leave out, pull up. I gotta go to work, bro. And that's what I told my grandma always tell me the same thing. I don't care what you do, man. You take care of your family. Everything else you gotta take. It's your responsibility. You take care of your family, bro. You know what I'm saying? You go work, take care of your family. I was never a lazy nigga. I'm gonna go work, and always dude had me out there cutting grass at 70 years old. You know what I'm saying? In the summertime, everybody out playing. Oh, we gotta go out there and go cut these grass and whatever. He was doing landscaping for Century 21, what's the name? So all these little housing apartments they was trying to put out, he'd go do lawn landscaping for them. All right, summertime, let's go, bro. You out here have the first half of my day was I was out cutting grass, you know what I'm saying? And sweeping up and working.
Yeah.
We had the candy store on the block. So I was working on the candy store. We had, half the day, I'm working, So it's like, hey, that he taught you gotta be a provider. And then that just changed. So I mean, now they don't got that now. And you see, grandparents are 40 now, so they still out partying.
Right.
So you just brought up a candy store. You just brought up the candy store, and that just brought another thought to me about manhood and shit that we kind of pick up from our environment. That's entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Yep.
All day.
That's
All day,
just,
yeah.
that's just good old entrepreneurship 101. Candy store. Like, you grow up seeing somebody operating a candy store out of their garage, out of their house. You know what I'm saying? Out of their garage or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, like, damn, people are out here working, trying to get it. Gardening. Growing up, dude, old folks had gardens. Feeding yourself, feeding your family, providing for your family. Like, these are little that are missing now in our community. You know what I'm saying? That shit, growing up were probably staples in a lot of communities. You know what I'm saying? That we don't have now. These are principles that we don't learn. Manhood principles about feeding your family, tending to your garden, tending to your soil. You know what I'm saying? That kind of shit. These are things that, that I grew up. These gems and all this knowledge and all these examples are right there.
It's an untapped resource.
It is.
Got that right.
Going a little further then, as we go into, man, like I think I said earlier, man, we see how social media and women's definition of how what a man should be, you know what I'm saying, and what they see and what they've learned or whatever. And we see the comments all the time. Man. I know me and Dennis, we in a few groups together. They talking, they always talk crazy about something, man. A man, that ain't no man, whatever the case may be. And or why men do this, they won't. My thing is, what has, as far as you're growing up, man, what has taught you when it comes to relationship, the type of man that you are, the type of man that you're trying to be, or whatever the case may be? What do you think had the most profound effect on you to trying to be that person that you want to be?
Going through relationships, fucking up at them, probably.
Yeah.
This shit beat out you through relationships is how you learn. You know, beating the shit out of other people in relationships is how you learn. You know what I'm saying? You learn in high school, like we were saying earlier. You know what I'm saying? You get to high school and all of a sudden the pool is bigger. You get more interest. You might get off into sports and shit. And all of a sudden you get a following, and all of a sudden you get ego stroked. And now you're thinking you big man on campus, and you know, you start to play with people's emotions and not being respectful of the power you have as a man. This is when you learn, oh damn, I can't be just out here just, you know, telling women whatever I want to tell them because it feels good to me. I got to be more conscious of how I'm leaving these women because I'm probably destroying some women's lives right now. You know what I'm saying? So then you get to a place where it's like, okay, each relationship, you start to think a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? You start, okay, cool. Last relationship, I fucked that up. I'm not going to do it this time. You know, I'm going to be a little bit more proactive this time. I'm going to think a little bit more empathetic. I'm going to listen a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? And through trial and error, it molds you because you have to hold, you're holding yourself to these principles. You're making the decision that, hey, I need to be better for the next relationship. That grows you. You know, so
it should be like levels, like you said, it should be levels to it. Each relationship took it to another level. I thought, like for me, that was my situation where each relationship I got something from it, whether it's from me growing as a man, you know what I'm saying, or through trial and error, basically, in so many words. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing, the subject talking about now, not letting your emotions out. The previous females I dealt with, I had time expressing myself how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Showing that emotional side sometimes to them. And a lot of times it was my own fault because being young and dumb and smelling myself in so many words, you know what I'm saying? I didn't let that out. So a lot of times it kind of pushed them away. Like, well, you don't show no emotion. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong? What's causing you not to do that? What's the problem? And as I learned as time went on, like, hey, I gotta soften up a little bit, you know, and start telling how I really feel about certain things. Start holding back on certain things. So, like you just said, I'm learning that as I go with that. There's levels to that. So.
You mentioned earlier about loving mom or learning to love or fathers loving the moms. That's an example too that we need examples of how to love people. You know what I'm saying? You need examples of how to conflict resolute with your brother. You know what I'm saying? You need examples of how to treat your neighbor. You need examples of how to treat strangers. Examples of how to love your kids, examples of how to love your wife, examples of how to love your baby mama, even though you ain't together. You know what I'm saying? We can get these from older people. We can get these from our peers. You know what I'm saying? So it's of trial and error and what we see around us too.
Yeah.
What you got, Ray?
Now, I was just gonna say, man, there's it's about to sound like real cliche, but it's true though. There's a lesson in every failure, like real talk. It's like that's something you can learn from it. Each time you fail, like you said a minute ago, where there's levels to it. Like, let's take relationships for an example. Like, the reason why that previous relationship failed shouldn't be the reason why your next relationship if it fails. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly, yeah.
So it's like there's a lesson to be learned in each situation. You know what I'm saying? So, kids out there, if there's a failure in your life, trust me, there's a lesson in it somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So biggest thing is to just step out your feelings for a second, sit back and really analyze the situation. 'Cause I had to do that a lot. You know what I'm saying? With especially with my last, I'll break it down to the last 2 relationships. I had to break it down a lot to reasons why they didn't work. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it was on me. You know, a lot of it was on me. The last one, I ain't gonna take full blame for that. But but the one before that, you know what I'm saying? That was on me. You know what I'm saying? So because I wasn't, mentally I wasn't really all into it. I wasn't as into it as I should have been, you know what I'm saying? And also so therefore I kind of like shortchanged her, you know what I'm saying? Emotionally, I shortchanged her because my heart wasn't totally into it, you know what I'm saying? So, and then when the next situation came along, I learned from that. It was like, okay, don't do that again, dude. You know what I'm saying? But I should have, because I ain't gonna say it. But anyway, man.
It's man shit right there, though. That's man shit. Taking accountability. Taking accountability. See,
that's
that right there, like earlier when I said I asked questions, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do they handle this? How do they handle that? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see what this person's gonna do in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Let me not try to prejudge. Let me see what lines up. So for you to say, yeah, I had to be accountable. I had to say, hey, look, I had to look at myself and say, man, look, this is what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's not them, it's you. How many dudes, how many men, how many grown ass men, alpha males, ballers, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves,
right,
don't have accountability? Cannot say I was wrong, I need to change.
I don't think you can honestly say you're the man if you can't hold yourself accountable or can't.
Exactly.
Right.
You can't.
You know what I'm saying? I think because
It's true.
accountability is what makes you if you're going to be a leader, and that's what a man is quote unquote supposed to be, you definitely got to have accountability, because you demand accountability from everybody else. So you can't demand something from everybody else that you don't have for yourself, period. You know what I'm saying? So you can't accept your faults and accept when you're wrong, or notice when you're wrong, or somebody point out that you're wrong about something, and accept that and you know, try to change that, whatever the case may be. Hey man, that ain't being a man. That's you just,
no, it's not.
bro, that's not being a leader. That's not being a man. It's just, you know, that part is like, you can't expect a woman or a child, anything, to follow you once they see you not doing it. You know what I'm saying? A child is gonna follow you because that's your son, that's your daughter. They're gonna follow until they start seeing the person that you are. And as they get older and start seeing it, that's when you start seeing the relationships start separating. You start seeing them go like, I don't want to deal with them like that.
Yeah.
Same thing with a relationship. Same thing with a marriage or whatever. It start, all right, this is how you are. All right, it's gonna end up in divorce, or you're gonna be unhappy for the next few years. You know what I'm saying? And so it's one of the things, man. You gotta hold yourself accountable. Like I said, I mean, with anything, man. That's you playing sports or anything else, man. It's accountability. Be like, yo, I missed that play. That's my fault, bro. That ain't. Oh, nigga, you'd hit that. I would have been able to kill him. Nah, bro. Nah, I missed that tackle, B. I missed that shot. That's me. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, like, and it's just that. You know, I think a lot of dudes think they men, but they blame everybody else. I think a lot of guys right now, especially this younger generation now, I'm not gonna say the younger generation, our generation too, I've seen it. A lot of guys we got to find blame with everybody else. As you point fingers at everybody, what they used to tell us when we was kids, you point one finger at somebody else, you got 4 more points back at you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's on you. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you got to realize if you keep breaking out, like I tell women all the time, if you keep falling for the same thing and you keep breaking up with the same thing and you can't find a relationship, nigga, that's the only common denominator here is you. It's not nobody else. Same thing with guys, bro. If you can't find, it's you. Something you is not meshing well with something or somebody. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you got to deal with that yourself. Go sit on the couch, go get some help, whatever you got to do. Man, get it fixed, because you gotta hold yourself accountable, B. I think all you guys, everybody saw One Night in Miami, right?
Yeah. So I didn't do. I missed my home.
You missed your home. It's like, so it was based pretty much on basically one night, and it's Malcolm, it's Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke. Yeah. So they in, and what you loved about, you know, most of the scenes is them holding each other accountable. You know what I'm saying? It was an accountability thing where Malcolm would say, man, hey man, Sam, I love you. You can be the biggest star out of all of us because of your voice. You know what I'm saying? You can reach more people. But what you gonna sell them? Are you selling them just all these songs or whatever? Or you got a message behind what you're doing? You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? We saw what he did his whole career. You know what I'm saying? Jim Brown was the same for a while until, you know, he started sitting down with Trump and them, but he was the same for most of his life. You know what I'm saying? It was Jim Brown. He stood up for black folks. He stood, you know what I'm saying, did what he did. And we all know what Malcolm was, you know what I'm saying? But to have people that you, a group of brothers, say if it was us, folks, you sitting there, you like, man, bro, I'm holding, I see more in you that you might not see yet, but I see it in you that I'm gonna push you and I'm gonna hold you accountable. You got that voice, you can do that, you know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of guys, man, don't have that around them. Number one, they don't have that circle around
That's
them.
huge.
That's huge, man. Because you're not getting nowhere by yourself. I don't care what nobody say. Everybody say I did this on my own. You ain't shit on your own, bro. Like it ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? You got what you got because of people. You gonna get where you gonna get further because of the people that's around you. Like I always say, watch the people that's around you. Watch the people you keep as friends and everything else. Because that's what helps rise you, man. It helps what bring you down. That's gonna help push you up. It's one or the other. Them people that's around you, because they keep you real. We see all our guys, look at Kanye and all them. They said Kanye is the most coolest when he stood around his people. Once he got away from his people, man, Kanye started wilding out, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's nothing there to keep you there.
Keep you grounded. Yeah, keep you grounded.
You got to. And as a man, you gotta have that, man. What you think about
the village, man?
The village, yeah.
My bad.
Now, guys, I'll say what you think about having that village aspect around it as a man. Does that make, help mold that man also as well? Like we said, the streets did. Like we said, our parents did. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. What you were saying, dude, sounds very, very, that sounds like an echo from childhood, dude, because I can remember a lot of old heads would do that. You know what I'm saying? They actually say that to a shorty, like, shorty, that ain't you. I see you. I see you better than that, shorty. Y'all don't need to be out here with doing this. Y'all need to go. Why don't y'all go play the ball or something? Y'all need to be out here with us. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shorties, don't be doing what we doing. Niggas would actually say that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be out here doing wrong, but would tell the shorties, hey, don't be doing what I'm doing. I know I'm finna be on some bullshit, but I'm just letting y'all know this ain't the way. Like niggas would say that, dude.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. But how many kids did that actually push? Just that little bit of tug. How many kids did that just push right off the path and let them go wherever they ended up in life? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that environment, having men around you that are holding themselves accountable, leaves you with no other choice but to hold yourself accountable. Because they're gonna look at you like you're a bitch anyway. And they're gonna treat you like that too, because they're gonna hold you accountable. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't no hard, it ain't no hard feelings about it. It's all out of love. You know what I'm saying? And you got to take that. When you're wrong, you got to be a man enough to accept when you're being chastised for your wrongness. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody pulls you to the side if I got to pull your coattail to tell you, hey bro, you on some bullshit, or say, hey bro, you were wrong, or you need to do this, or you slacking on this. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't man enough to handle that, you're going to take that as conflict. You'll create a conflict out of what should be a growing moment, what should be a teaching moment. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't around enough men to learn and identify when somebody's trying to help you versus when somebody's trying to hurt you, you'll destroy a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? So that having that village around you is very, very vital because it helps you learn to see the world and see what you need to see.
Yeah.
Facts. Definitely.
Yeah, you definitely need that village, man. Like, and I think that's what's missing. I think in a lot of today's in today's society, man. It's like you don't because they don't have that. You know, they definitely don't have that now. Like I said, we growing up, we had those guys. You know what I'm saying, or those those older people. You know what I'm saying, whether it be a family member or whether it be a neighbor. You know what I'm saying. We had those people that would say, "Hey, look, dude, you don't need to do this. You need to do that." You know what I'm saying. You should be over here doing this, or they took you to that game, or they took you to whatever it is you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying, that concert or whatever. You know what I'm saying. And it's like these younger kids now, they don't have that. I don't think they even respect that. You know, I don't think they don't have like a healthy respect for the generation before them, because they think that they know everything, man. Like I got one of my nephews, you can't even talk to the dude, man. You know what I'm saying, because he think he know everything. It's like, boy, you 17,
you got the internet,
like you don't, right? It's like. Everything. Right. He's like,
I got the internet.
Right.
You know everything.
I got Google. I'm good. You know?
Right.
But it's crazy because it's like, dude, it's like sometimes you want to punch him in his chest. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like it's just sad that, man, we at this state, man, where, you know, like knowledge coming from an older generation is like frowned upon, you know, to the younger generation. Like it's like if we try to instill them, you know, knowledge in them, they look at us like, oh man, that's old talk, man. You don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. You know what I'm
And
saying?
if it ain't no money, they definitely trying to hear it.
Exactly.
If it ain't about no money, if it ain't about no money, old man, I ain't trying to hear nothing you talking about.
And the crazy thing
Unless
is,
you got money and you
right. And the crazy thing is, like, man, the knowledge that we trying to give you could eventually lead to you making money. It's like, open up your mind, little dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. We ain't trying to like stop you from doing what you're doing. We trying to help you grow as a person, like be a productive member of society. You know, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, it's like, man, it's just sad, man. I'm gonna leave that. It's just sad, man, because it's like, man, the older generation that we get. I say I'm part of the older generation now because I'm over 40. You know what I'm saying? So I know that I know that dudes, you know what I'm saying, look at me like, oh yeah, this nigga, you over 40. Oh, you old, nigga. You know, you know what I'm saying? You old. So they ain't trying to hear me no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's just sad, man. It's sad we at that point, man. Where knowledge is like, or advice is frowned upon. You know what I'm saying? It's sad, man.
What do you think that we are?
And then what's the example?
What'd you say, D?
What's the examples of manhood that a lot of dudes have?
That's what I was about to
say. If they don't have.
What do you think we're sitting at right now? As everything, what we see on social media, what we see on reality TV, what we see is now affecting this next generation that's coming up, and then of course these following generations, because the next generation, the ones that's having these kids, is about to follow in that. Like, how do you think this? What do you see the state of manhood? Not even just a black man, just manhood in general, because everything is attacked now. Now is you can be gender fluid. Now you can be, your sexuality is fluid. Now it's they try to take away you trying to discipline your kids to try to teach them how to be a man. Now you shouldn't be teaching somebody to be a man. It's you don't even know, you know, what's being a man. You know, it's so much that's being taken away. Especially from young black men. Like I said, I could talk about black men because I'm black. From our culture and our kids that's growing up now. Like, what do you see this state of manhood now, Joe? Like, compared to when we was coming up, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all want to go?
I think it's damn, to be honest with you.
Damn.
Like, I'm just being honest. I think it's damn. I think it's doomed. You know, because like you just said a moment ago, man, how society is set up now, social media is set up now. You can't discipline your children like we got coming up, or like our parents got coming up. Gender fluid and all this other stuff going on now. I think it's. I'm gonna be honest with you, don't look good, to be honest with you. You know, and like Ray said a moment ago, prior to this, I was like, this generation now, they don't want to listen because they think we don't know what we're talking about. They think we don't know, we haven't been where they've been or trying to go in life or whatever. So now with social media being what it is, everybody has a platform, everybody has a keyboard or cell phone in hand, and voicing their opinions out. They think they know it all and have experienced nothing in life yet. And the sad part about it is, man, it's going to get worse because who's going to show them? Who's going to lead them? Who's going to show them a better way to get the values we had coming? Like D said, we had the OGs on the block telling us, hey, this ain't you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't about that life, man. I'm you better than that. Go out there, pick that ball up, play ball. Go to school, be that doctor, be that lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Be that police officer. Who you want to be, just be. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that now. They don't have that.
Yeah.
And the sad part about you trying to tell them that nowadays, use the term, you judging me. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. You're wrong. Yeah.
And this generation, it's some bullshit, man. Because everybody
call it what it is.
It is.
No, it is, facts, dude. It's funny, like, but it's facts though.
It's like, dude, everybody hypersensitive about every damn thing. Yeah. But they want you to respect their opinion, so they want to take a strong stance on their opinion, but they're so sensitive about everything. And then it's this weird ass. It's this weird ass mindfuck of of influences and suggestions and all this other shit. Like one of y'all mentioned about the being able to basically choose whatever sex you want to be. You know, if you want to be this and be that, if you want to be gay for a minute, be gay for a minute. If you want to be straight after that, be straight after that. You want to turn into a woman, turn to a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
not a problem. You know, like women are strong now. Are strong now. Men are more sensitive now. It's a weird ass conundrum that we find ourselves in. That makes it even more important for you to find grounded folks around you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That are grounded in reality and not grounded in what the fuck is going on social media, and not
Exactly.
grounded on, you know, every post I gotta post 5 times a day and look what's going on here and what's going on here on social media. Like, nigga, get your face out of that shit. Talk about some real shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's get on that. You know,
Yeah.
I feel bad for young men who don't have those strong examples, man, because chances are they're being raised by a single mother, so they're already taking on feminine qualities that they aren't aware of. And then they're probably dealing with a bunch of women who are over, I don't want to say over masculine, but definitely not feminine. So you don't quite know how to bounce off you don't know what you're bouncing your energy off of. You're bouncing your energy off a wild card for the most part. You know what I'm saying? These chicks don't know nothing about femininity. They're trying to get tough with you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you can't treat them like real women. You kind of got to treat them in pseudo kind of masculine way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what to be and how to behave is just so up in the air now, dude. It's fucked up.
The things that we grew up, understanding, which was like where the men was strong and the women were like I hate to say the word weaker, but the more sensitive. I feel like that they were the more sensitive. The roles are completely reversed now, man. It's like, man, what dudes are like hyper sensitive about everything, and the chicks is out here, they tough. You know, they way rougher than than the women that we were used to, growing up with. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's sad, man, because like you see dudes walking around, man. They like I'm all for, man, expressing your feelings, but damn, man, come on, dude. Like, it's like, man, like Zeke said earlier, man, you say how you feel, man, and get it and then move on, man. But you got cats out here, man, they just stay and they feeling. You see it, like, let's use social media for example. It's cats that be on social media, they'll make one post, right? And then for the rest of the day, that same day, they got like about 10, 12 posts, and they all in their feelings throughout that whole day. And it's like, bruh,
Yeah.
come back 2 days later, they still in their feelings. They still talking about the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, nigga, it's like, walk it off, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? like I understand that, man. But yeah, man, but like, say what Keith was talking about, man, which is like, man, we pretty much, we doomed. Like, it ain't looking good for the men, dude. Like, cause I feel like it's very hard. Like, I feel like in today's society, it's like hard for a man to, to be a man in the sense that, or the way we knew growing up.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for a guy to be just be a man, because if he's too strong, they gonna say exactly right. They gonna say, he a caveman.
You can tell women they be on bullshit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing without having your manhood questioned or challenged. You can't hug and kiss your sons without having your manhood challenged.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You can't put kids in the chest and say, hey, you need to cut that bullshit out because what you just did was stupid as hell without having your manhood challenged. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Everything you do is a question of what kind you ain't no man. It's almost like people are sitting waiting for something for you to do, for them to just poke at it and say, you're not a man for that.
Yeah,
which makes every man extra sensitive to what the shit that they're doing. And when you're taking information from women who are telling you what they want versus what they really, really should have and need, you're gonna get a lot of this is what real men do memes. You know what I'm saying? This is what a real guy does, what a real man is. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I saw a meme the other day that said something about man's job is to provide, a man's sole purpose. Man's only purpose is to provide for his woman.
Right.
And it kind of pissed me off a little bit because I'm like,
so is that all we are? ATM?
but all the women all the women decide to go in, and it's like, well, y'all, all these men got a problem with, being a provider, and all of a sudden, all these, it's like y'all are not. And then the men are steady telling them it's not the provider part. It's about being only seen as a provider, and
Right.
you women saying
There
that's
you
the
go.
only quality to be a man. You're perpetuating bullshit, and you don't know. You're not realizing it. We're telling you this, but rather than you taking what we're telling you, you're attacking our manhood. So you're less of a man because you feel like being a
We're
provider
not being
ain't
devalued,
enough for
man.
you. But
Men are being
I said
devalued,
that
bro.
too, and I've heard women say, now you want to be treated like women.
No,
Now
we want to
y'all
be treated like a man. That's what we want.
I want to be valued now. Like, what the fuck you mean? What? Who don't want to be valued?
Right.
That's
Man.
human.
Hey, allow me to have some balls. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, allow me to be
Thank
what I am, a man, dog. Like, seriously.
Thank you.
This day,
Thank you. Thank you.
this day and age, man. I think, what because of, like I said, the influx of reality TV and social media,
Feminism.
you get a lot more. It ain't like just how
Mhm.
growing up, your mom and them had their best friend, they used to talk and whatever the case may be. So they probably had that guy probably had to deal with his wife, his woman, and her best friend and a couple of girls. Now it's like you got to deal with your girl and 2,000 other women. It's like, bro, they got their opinions on every damn thing. It's like, bro, they're not even in this relationship. But it's the point of because like I tell women, like, stop saying stuff about all men is this. Have you dated all men? How about the men?
Yeah, I hate that.
The men that you've chosen aren't men or aren't the men you look for. And the same thing about guys. They're like, man, all these women out here hoes, man. They don't want nothing, but they just want to go out here and show their ass. Well, how about all the women you looking at, nigga? Because you can't find your girl on social media, bro. That's just
Right.
all the girl. Like we tell niggas all the time, we say, man, you ain't about to find your wife at the club. You ain't about to find your girl at the
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like they try to talk to me. I know my brothers well. Every time they try to talk to us at the club, like we didn't take you serious like that. That just
if we say you in a club, man,
I had one
fun.
Y'all
right.
Frank, you definitely remember this. Radio too. I had this one chick, man. We was going out to the club, man. We was going to meet one of our homeboys up. Me and my cousin going to meet one of our homeboys up there. Girl made a big deal, Joe. And then I ended up seeing Tamika Housley up there at the spot. We up there at Paget's. Yeah, Paget's, man, one time. And it was one of her homegirls. I didn't even know it until we got there. So I'm like, oh, Tamika, what's up, Joe? So we like, hey, what's up? And so the girl, I'm letting them meet my homeboy and his friend is, I guess they was on a double date, whatever. And so they just in there talking. I'm like, man, we about to go up here to the bar. Me and my cousins at the bar, chill out, whatever. The girl like, yo, she wanted to holler. She like, man, she throwing coats up. Like, nah, come sit down. Like, nah, y'all finish y'all thing, Joe. We going up to the club. We go to the bar, man. Y'all holler at us when y'all get done. So we go up there, man. This girl's over here, man. Geek seen with her, man, trying to talk to the nigga, whatever. Cool, all right, whatever. She over here taking pictures. First time I seen her, she always trying to take pictures with niggas, Joe. And this before camera phones even hot. You know what I'm saying?
She one of them.
I'm like, all right, whatever, man. So we just talk. We start talking, whatever. I wasn't taking her serious like that. We come around, Joe. Every time I went to the club, be like she was at the club. Like the one time I even talked to the chick before I went out. She's like, yo, I'm like, what you want? She's like, no, I'm gonna chill at the crib today. Okay. Me, my brother, and my cousin, we out the spot. Shorty came in the club. I'm like, man, they go Shorty right there. I was looking and she saw me. And then she left because she knew she just saw me. Come to find out, she ended up even knowing my baby mama is hilarious. End up knowing my baby mama and everything. I was telling my baby mama about the whole thing. Like, man, I told her about the girl, and I was like, yo, you should, man, this girl was doing. She's like, she was doing all that. I said, yeah. She's like, man, that's crazy. Man, come to find out, we all came. We was at one spot. I think all us was there. I think that time, and our homeboy came over, was like, hey, yo, I'm in the bathroom. Like, hey, yo, hey, your big mama here. I'm like, oh, okay, well, okay, whatever. And she with Shorty. I'm like, what's Shorty? Like, oh, girl from the West End. I said, oh, okay. I'm like, I ain't with neither one of them. Whatever, I go out there like, what's up? I told my baby mama was up, gave her a hug, what's going on? It's like, nothing. So girl, I'm like, what's up, stranger? Like, nothing, what's up? And I told my baby, I whistled my baby mama, like, yo, this was Shorty. She was like, that's her. She's like, yeah. I'm like, this was Shorty. Like, nigga. Yo, but I stopped talking. She used to live out there around y'all crib, around the corner from not too far from y'all.
Yeah, she was, yeah.
one time, Joe. I'm like, yo, I had to stop talking to her. I'm like, yo, I mean, she was a cutie and everything, but I was like, bro,
Yeah,
you
she was nice. She was nice.
all the time, bro. She was like a young Alicia Keys, but it was
Mhm.
like, bro, she was nice, but I was telling her, like, yo, you at the club all the time, B. I ain't about to have no girls at the club 6 days a week. You at the club like it's a job.
Yeah.
B.
Yeah,
I
Right.
just want to be seen.
right.
I tell guys, you can't say that all women are like this when you ain't been with all women, bro. You know what I'm saying? You ain't been with all women. You can't
Right.
label all, but women gotta
Right.
stop to the point they gotta stop changing dudes to try to fit what they want them to fit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate when people do that because they're perpetuating bullshit, man. They perpetuating bullshit. I hate when men do it. I hate when women do it. Like, just be specific. Say, hey, the people I've dealt with ain't been shit.
That
You know
we
what I'm
gonna
saying? Don't try to project.
battle with the sexes, B. We doing the episode, battle with the sexes. We gonna get it on, just
battle
like,
of the sexes, man.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Battle of the sexes is coming.
throw some of these topics out here, man. We gonna have a few people on here, Joe. We got some women, we gonna have some men. We gonna have to go at it on this one because
No, we gonna get it.
you know what I'm saying. So yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
but man, you know, I'm gonna wrap this up, man. I just want, hey, man, look, we all have our definition. I hope we gave y'all some definition on what men are and like the things that help build men, help build up
Mhm.
what we are and what we've been. Yeah, everybody ain't the same. We all different. So, you know, women, what you're expecting from some men, you got to look at the whole totality of that man, man. Talk to him, see where he came from, see what kind of things he been through, because that's gonna start determining the type of man that he is for sure, for sure. So I want to, man, everybody gave their opinions on everything. I want to thank Dennis, man. Thank you for coming on, bro. Like, appreciate
Thanks, bro.
you, family, man.
Yes,
You
sir, bro.
Appreciate y'all.
man, you're always welcome to be on, Joe. We definitely gonna get you on the Battle of the Sexes.
Yes, sir.
Hilarious. But
I
Yeah, we
can't
got
wait,
to
boy.
get you on, dude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
for sure. Hey man, we done, man. That's did another one, Joe, man. Appreciate y'all. Check it out. Go check out some old clicks, go some old links on there, man. And hey, man, hey, get at us, man. Hit us up on Facebook, hit us up on Instagram. Check out the YouTube channel, man. The Break Room. You know what to do, man. Give us some topics. You want to talk about some topics, you know, holler at us. We have some people that come holler at us about stuff they want to be on. They want to talk about some things. So, man, keep them coming. Though. We appreciate it, though. And we out, B.